Welcome back to the Buds in the Box podcast. I'm your host, Eric Fogarty, and I'm joined with my two co-hosts, Jude, Rondina, and Michael Feldbloom. What's up, guys?
What's up, man?
Hello.
And today we have a very special guest. He plays for Sault Ste. Greyhounds and is an NHL prospect for the upcoming draft. Welcome, Billy Constantinou.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. All right, so should we just get straight into the questions?
Yeah, I mean, let's just get
sounds
started.
good.
All right, Jude,
All
you wanna
right,
go? You wanna start?
so Billy, how was your transfer from minor hockey to the OHL?
A little bit at the start, it was a big adjustment. Obviously, playing with guys a bit older than you, but once you get a couple of games under your belt, you get camp over with and stuff like that. You start to adjust well with the pace and the speed of the game. So it's a bit rough being a 16-year-old playing with guys as old as 20, but once you get used to it, it's a lot of fun.
Did it take you how many games did it take you to fully get into that level?
Probably 3 or 4.
Yeah,
Preseason's kind of different because there's a lot of younger guys playing. A lot of the older guys don't really play too many preseason games. But once the regular season starts, it's a lot faster. But
so
4 games, you kind of get adjusted to the pace and get better chemistry with some of the boys.
so did you start right away, like first game as a 16-year-old?
Yeah. I started first game. Being 16 in the league, it's pretty tough, especially you're not always in the lineup every game, stuff like that. So mentally, it's kind of not the best at sometimes, but you just kind of got to fight through it. So, but other than that, it's great playing. So.
And you were drafted by Niagara, right?
Yeah, I was drafted by the Ice Dogs, second round.
Okay. And what was that like? What was that draft process like? Were you in contact with most teams?
Yeah. During minor midget, I was in contact with most teams, and then kind of on draft day, I just kind of live streamed with my family, and my name was picked, and then we kind of got to go there that day. They gave me gear, stuff like that. I got to meet the coaches, the staff, and all that, and it was a lot of fun. It was a great experience.
That's awesome.
Getting you've been traded how many times? Twice,
yeah.
Yeah, so getting traded in the OHL, how did it feel? And especially leaving a place that felt like home, or did it feel like home at all?
Niagara, it has a special place in my heart, I'd say, because I was drafted there. I went to school there. I met a lot of good people, made a lot of great friendships. So getting traded from there was a little tough. It was pretty emotional, saying bye to everyone, but it's kind of nice to get a fresh start in a new place. It's a little awkward at the start, going to a new school and stuff like that, but once you get adjusted, you make new friends, new guys on the team. So it's a little hard at the start, but once you get used to it, it's kind of the same as anywhere else, I guess you can say.
So you getting traded, you had to go obviously to a new billet family, right?
Yeah.
So
brand new. So new school, new billet family, new teammates, and everything. When I actually went to Kingston, though, I got traded with another guy, Ian Martin. So that was kind of a little bit easier to go through because we were kind of both going through it at the same time.
Yeah, you got to go together.
Yeah.
Was he your billet brother too, or?
We lived together in the same house.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's cool. I guess I'll go with the question here. Who was the player you most enjoyed playing with over so far in your hockey career? Could be minor hockey, OHL.
That's a tough one. Over the years, I've played with a lot of good players. Obviously, I played with a lot of big names like Jack Hughes, Akil Thomas. I lived with him for a bit in Niagara. We've been buddies since I was 6 years old, so that was nice playing with him. A lot of guys who play in higher leagues now, like the AHL, now NHL prospects. So I played with a bunch of great players, and obviously it's kind of nice having them on your team. And once you get traded, it's kind of tough playing against them, but it's all fun, and you're all boys at the end of the day. So nice.
All right, Jude, you want to hit him with a question?
Yeah, which one?
Any, man.
All right. So on the same topic as memorable and I guess you could say favorite, but more memorable players. How about coaches? Did you have anyone that was top of the list? You love this coach, or anyone's close to the bottom?
Or trainers.
Yeah,
Oh,
anything.
one coach in minor hockey I really loved. His name is Harry Evans. He was my coach for 2 years on the Mississauga Reps. He was always one that stuck with me. He was a great guy. Taught me a lot of stuff, and just those are probably 2 years I'll never forget of minor hockey. Those are probably the best 2 years of my minor hockey career, and I'll remember the most just because he was such a great coach. All the boys really enjoyed having him on the bench, and yeah, for sure he'll be definitely on the top of the list for that.
Yeah, for sure. A good coach is a key to a good team.
That actually makes me think of another question. You were on the reps in Bantam, right? And then went to the Marlies for minor midget?
Yeah.
Was there a reason to that, or
it was
just
kind of
the
my agent was kind of pushing for me to go to the Marlies a bit because Dan Brown's obviously a good coach as well. He knows a lot of stuff about hockey, and he's obviously produced a lot of championship teams with the Marlies and stuff like that. So they kind of thought it was the best fit to go there for me, especially minor midget being my draft year. So we kind of just listened to them, helped them guide us a bit, and then we kind of switched over to the Marlies.
cool.
Well, staying on the topic of when you played for the Marlies, you played with many great players and especially a lot of players that are gonna potentially like lead in the NHL. So players like Jack Hughes, Shane Wright. Can you comment on how it was like playing with those players that are supposed to be spectacular?
Yeah, well, Jack Hughes, obviously, he's a great player. He's playing in the NHL this year. Playing with him, it was kind of nice when you gave him the puck, kind of get a couple free points, I guess you can say, because he's kind of always going back on that. But yeah, I enjoyed playing with him. Shane Wright as well. Shane's a great kid. I really liked him a lot. We hung a little bit outside of the rink too. He's a good kid. He's young, but he's built like a man. It's crazy.
I mean, he got a assistant captain already, didn't he?
Yeah, he's assistant
For
captain.
sure.
Yeah, he's very mature for his age, so I could see it happening. He's a great kid. He's a good teammate. So yeah, I played with both those players are obviously exceptional, and they're both great on and off the ice.
For sure.
Right. I'm just gonna jump over to the combine last year.
Yep.
What was your experience there? Like, just what was your experience overall at the combine?
It was a great time. That week over in Buffalo was obviously a lot of fun. A lot of guys that I play with and a lot of guys I've kind of met over the years were all there. So it was really fun. It was pretty stressful having meetings all week with different NHL teams. Kind of a bunch of scouts and GMs and stuff in a room, and they're kind of just asking you questions, a little intimidating, but it was fun at the same time. And then the testing too was something you're a little bit nervous about, but once you started, it was kind of the same as anything else. Kind of just do your best, and yeah.
Yeah. So the draft interviews. What did you get any weird questions or like odd questions that stood out, or any like GMs that were a bit weird or anything like that?
The one question that probably stands out to me the most was I was in a meeting with Montreal, and one of them asked me, they're like, "Oh, like I have a question." They're like, "If I have a Honda Civic and it keeps breaking down, but my wife sold my Lamborghini and bought me this car, like why is it good for me?" I'm like, and but like I don't know what to say. It's freaking down. Like I don't know why, but you keep telling me it's really good for me, and it's good on gas. He's like, no, that's not it. I'm like, I don't know. He's like, oh, it works on my mechanicing skills. Helps me fix things. So that was one that probably stuck out to me the most.
That's weird.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard some really, I mean, just watching like other, like, what's his name? Brian Burke.
Brian Burke, yeah.
He talks about his like draft interviews and stuff and how weird, and like even like some NFL guys and stuff like that, they talk about how weird the questions are in the draft interviews. Some of them, like, if you were to get in like a bus crash, would you want to be at the front, middle, or back? Like stuff like that. Like,
Yeah, they're all like psychological to see how you think, I guess. But they're
yeah.
pretty-
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Those GMs, like they're just trying to get anything they can to see if you're the right guy.
no, for
I
sure.
mean,
They
yeah,
gotta on every guy and make sure they pick the right person when the time comes. So
Exactly.
it's good for, you know, it's not a bad thing to do
No.
more than enough research on each player.
yeah. I feel like a lot of it has to do with just like looking at the players' reactions when you ask them a weird question. Like,
For
if you
sure.
ask them a crazy question and it looks like
Yeah.
look at you like you have 5 heads, then it's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and also the psychological part, right? See how quick thinking you are.
Yeah. Some of them
So-
are a little intimidating.
Yeah, for sure. I can't even imagine that.
Yeah,
walking
neither
into a
can I.
room,
Holy.
like 6 guys staring at you, like
Yeah.
asking you questions. Oh my god.
Some of the memes are actually more than 6 guys. There's probably like 10, 11, 12 people in there.
Holy.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
But it was a great
That's
experience.
nuts. Yeah,
Yeah, for
sounds like
sure.
that would be fun. And then is there an on ice portion at that or no?
No, there's no on ice portion at the
Yeah,
combine.
okay. That's the
So-
OHL one, right?
Yeah, so the combine kind of works. So like you're there for a week, and the first like 4 days you have meetings and kind of stuff with like NHL media and all that. And then the last 2 days you have like off ice testing. So like we have the VO2 max test, say on like a Thursday, and then the next day we'll have all the rest of the other tests.
What do you think what was the hardest test for you? Or like the most difficult, or like
The VO2 max was definitely not the most fun. A lot of guys weren't really excited for that one. That one's probably one of the hardest. The Wingate was pretty tough too.
yeah.
All
That
of them
always
were-
looks so scary.
Yeah, you got the mask on.
The mask.
Yeah, they're checking your breathing and all that. Yeah.
So did they get you through like a medical physical thing too at all?
Yeah. They so the day before we did the testing, we kind of had they took pictures of our body, like front and both sides, and then they got us through like balance tests and whatnot and all that to see how our bodies and stuff like maneuver and all that. So they made sure everyone was all good to go, and some guys obviously with bad shoulders and stuff like that didn't do some of the tests, but well, for sure they check everything.
Cool.
Oh,
And,
that's
and
pretty.
on
That's
the
kind of. You can
yeah,
go,
go
Jude.
Eric.
No, you can go.
All right. And on the same and on the same topic is like testing, right? How is the if you don't mind me asking, the LA camp? How was that for you?
Oh, that was a great experience. Obviously, going to LA, beautiful place. That was a lot of fun. Being on the ice with a lot of guys. Development
sure.
camp was pretty cool in June, right after the draft.
For sure.
But main rookie tournament and main camp was a lot more fun, I'd say, just because all the NHL guys are there as well. Like my last track, I skated with Drew Doughty, Kopitar, and all those guys.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
So
nice.
that was a lot of fun. And we played some mini games at the end. And me and Doughty were partnered up, and we were going against Kopitar and Dustin Brown. And I was kind of
Holy.
Jeez.
proud of myself from there. I was like,
Jeez.
watch you guys on TV. And I love Drew
So-
Doughty too. So, but yeah, that was a lot of fun. He set me up for a easy tap in, but it was cool.
Yeah, Drew Doughty's got a great like media personality too.
Yeah,
Like you
no,
can
he's-
tell he's a
yeah.
good guy.
Yeah, he's really funny.
Actually, that shirt there, that's signed by Drew Doughty.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, his mom sent it to my dad knows his mom somehow, and he sent that in. So, yeah,
But yeah, he was a great guy. It was really awesome meeting him. You
that's
can
so
tell.
cool.
Yeah, but yeah, Kopitar and some of those guys were a little upset because the loser had to bag skate, and that was it. So it was nice fun.
That's awesome.
awesome. Yeah.
Were they intimidating at the start, like just to see all those guys you see on TV every day playing? Now you're playing with them.
Yeah, we had like a meeting before camp started, and everyone was in a room. All the NHL guys, all the, like some of the guys on the AHL team, and then all the like prospects and guys that were invited. And the coach Todd McClone got everyone to like stand up and like introduce themselves in front of everyone. So like I'm sitting in the back and I'm waiting. All these guys are going. Like I'm really nervous. So, but yeah, it was awesome. Once you got that over with, you kind of got used to everyone. But everyone's there. Everyone had a lot of fun. So it was nice.
For
But
sure.
it was definitely a little nerve wracking. Being guys, especially growing up and watching them play.
Yeah.
I
Did you
mean,
feel
yeah,
any
even
like?
Go ahead.
Did you feel any like if I had like a friend there or something, like you went there with a keel, yeah?
Yeah, no, for
Yeah.
sure.
So
Like, there was a lot of guys I knew there, and I met at development camp like a couple months before, so it was kind of nice.
yeah,
Going there, knowing a few faces, you kind of got used to the guys a lot, and I was there
for
for
sure.
like 2 weeks, so it was awesome.
Yeah, that must make it like easier. But
For
No,
sure.
for
going
sure.
back to so like yeah, that jump from like you make the jump to the OHL, you you develop a bit and you like get used to it, and then 2 years later you're already like playing against these 30-year-olds.
Yeah,
So it's like that's crazy to me. I'm
yeah.
like, yeah,
When you're jumping from minor hockey to the OHL, it's fast, and then you kind of do that, and you're like, this is even faster. So it
yeah,
kind of amazes me a bit, but it was a lot of fun.
yeah. I mean, that's like a lot of it has to do with speed, of course. Like
Yeah.
the OHL, like I play in that Carnivale league in
Yep.
the summer. Like just going and seeing those guys skate, like in you, like watching some of your footage too is like you're so fast at like and like your hockey sense and everything. Like
Watching from behind is terrifying. Seeing that guy take the puck from behind your net. Holy.
oh yeah.
Oh, for sure.
So
But especially playing with those guys, it's a lot of thinking too. Those guys think.
you got to be smart. Like,
Yeah.
and then at that next level in the NHL level, it's just 10 times as smart too, right?
For
Yeah.
sure.
For all
So
those guys know how to make plays. They're all skilled. They all know what they're doing. So it's definitely a lot of speed and thinking.
yeah, and that's like big part of your game too, right?
For
Oh,
sure.
especially being a defenseman back there, you don't want to cough the puck up on the blue line and
No,
go
especially
Jude.
especially not with Drew Doughty as your partner either,
No, for sure. You don't want
eh?
to overlook that, especially in front of a guy of his caliber.
Yeah. Yeah.
What type of defenseman would you consider yourself? Like a puck moving defenseman, offensive defenseman?
Yeah, I'd consider myself more of an offensive type defenseman. I love to join the rush. Lead it sometimes if I have the opportunity. I like to be creative in both zones, especially like on the power play and stuff like that, being the anchor up top. So yeah, I consider myself more of an offensive type defenseman.
Yeah. You got a wicked shot, so that definitely be a threat.
Yeah, another thing, like when like watching some of your game footage and stuff, like it's the vision too, like puck sense, like vision, being able to see guys through like the neutral
Yeah.
zone, hitting guys up the ice, stuff like that.
Yeah, for
Huge.
sure on that. I don't think you can catch him with his head down once and again, right?
Well, for sure, that's definitely one thing you don't want to do is have your head down, especially playing with some forwards that like to hit. So
Yeah,
you always gotta keep your head on a swivel.
yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, Yeah, I got this, Michael.
Go ahead.
So if you don't mind me
I'm
asking,
so interested. I want to know everything.
I know.
I'm like,
so if you don't mind me asking, like, what do you think is next for you?
Uh, that's kind of a hard question to answer because, like, with everything in life, you don't really know what's gonna happen next sometimes. So you just kind of got to work hard, especially with quarantine and everything going on. I'm just trying to stay in shape, work on my skills as much as I can, but hopefully, something good comes out of it when all this is over.
sorry for not asking. How's your quarantine going?
It's a little rough. Other than I kind of converted my basement into my own little workout and like stick handling range to shoot.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. No one skated in 2.5
Yeah,
months,
I
right?
know.
I know.
Yeah.
I was lucky. I got to get one skate in around like the 16th of March, and then that was kind of it. And everything closed down. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm definitely
That's
going
yeah.
not being able to skate and go on the
For
ice.
sure.
I think everyone's kind of itching to go on the ice right now, and
Yeah,
I mean, just
100%.
yeah,
Hopefully things start up soon. I'm looking forward to it.
yeah, for sure. And then also, correct me if I'm wrong. You're also eligible for this draft coming up.
Yeah, I'm eligible. I'm eligible for this draft as well. So fingers crossed, hopefully something nice comes out of that. So.
Yeah, that's exciting too. It's crazy.
This year is probably going to be a little bit different with all this stuff going on.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think they're talking about early June even.
Yeah, earlier. I heard
So
like something like that.
That's kind of exciting.
Oh, for sure. That's definitely a cool thing to keep in mind.
And you said to the OHL draft, right? It was a live stream, right? So it'd probably be the same thing, right?
Stop.
Yeah. I'm kind of already used
Stop.
Oh.
Sorry about that, boys. I mean, I guess it's a little Mother's Day shout out. So.
There you go. Happy Mother's Day.
Sorry, I didn't hear your answer there, Bill. What do you like? Like you've already kind of experienced that online draft, right? So.
Yeah, it's a little different than being there in person. You know, you're not
For
wearing
sure.
stuff like that.
For
Kind of
sure.
Your PJs, maybe. You know.
And you were there in person last year, right?
Yeah, I was there.
Okay. Cool. I actually have another question going a little off topic. Sorry, Eric.
It's okay. I was gonna say if you had any more questions.
So wait, living in Sault Ste. Marie,
Yep.
like, what do you think about like the weather and stuff like that, adapting to the weather and
When I first got there, it was like pouring rain the night I actually flew in, and then my first week we kind of got a huge snowstorm, and the guy I lived with, we ended up in a ditch first snowfall, right in front of the school where all the guys go, so they all kind of saw us in the ditch while they're all going to class. Yeah, it's a little cold there, but I really like it there.
yeah.
Nice to be up there. There's not really much to do other than play hockey, so it kind of helps you focus a bit.
So the fan base must be pretty good then.
Yeah,
right?
the fan base is really good in the Sioux. A lot of diehard fans. You see every game. It's a great atmosphere. It's a really good hockey town.
That's awesome. Yeah, that I think that makes that would make a huge difference playing in a place
sure.
like that.
No, for sure.
Actually,
when you got fans supporting you all the time, you tend to play a bit better because you know they're always going to be there to cheer you on, stuff like that. Makes you feel good about yourself and the team as well.
and I had another question too.
Oh my God, this guy's loaded with questions.
No, because I'm just thinking, and they're coming to me right now.
Taking advantage.
Did you have like a favorite rink to play at in the OHL anywhere? Was like a great fan base like Sioux or anywhere else?
Obviously London's a nice place to play.
I've heard that.
They always sell out. They got over 9,000 fans a game. That's kind of like a mini NHL rink, as a lot of people say. I love playing there. Obviously playing in Niagara is awesome too. They have great fans there as well. They're always pretty packed there. And one that not a lot of people kind of agree with me on is Sudbury. I love playing in Sudbury. Their ice is always really nice there. Never too soft or anything like that. So I enjoy playing there as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah, any fan bases that tend to like aim for getting under your skin, but obviously they can't get under yours. But like any fan bases that tend to do that?
Over the years playing and some close games and things kind of got heated. Some guys on my team, the fans started like chirping, throwing beer cans. I remember one game in Barrie. These two guys, I guess they were having a couple of drinks behind the bench, and they were leaning over the glass, yelling at our coach and stuff, and one hurt and they were cheering. So a couple of the guys got mad and they got in a little argument. So yeah, a couple teams. Actually, Barrie's a really nice rink to play in as well. But yeah, there's been a couple incidents I've seen with some players I've played with getting into it with some fans because they're a little angry.
Yeah, for sure. So, do you think it had to do kind of with going back to the question on like experience in the OHL and that topic? This year, obviously, you had it was 47 points in 50 something games, something like that.
I the season with 53 points and
53 points.
Yeah.
60 games, something like that.
Yeah, like 60.
So, do you think that had to do with experience or just like feeling more comfortable? Anything?
For sure, I'd say once I got traded to the Sault, I kind of found my game a bit more. I got more comfortable with the puck and stuff like that. But yeah, for sure, experience helps a lot. You kind of get more laid back in a sense, I guess you can say, where you're more comfortable with yourself and the plays you're gonna make. So that definitely is a factor as well.
Yeah. Obviously, like 3 pretty good seasons in the OHL. You were in the that prospect game this year and last year, both.
Last year I played in the top prospect game, Cherry versus. So
what was that like?
That was a great experience too. That was in Red Deer that year, so that was actually the first time I flew on a plane. Is to from Kingston to Toronto, and then Toronto to Calgary. So that was a great.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Week. So that was a lot of fun. I actually got to be starting lineup that game, so that was awesome as well. But yeah, we didn't get the outcome we wanted. We ended up blowing the lead with a couple minutes left, and we lost. But it was still a lot of fun to play in that game.
Yeah. That sounds like watching those videos and everything. They sell out that stadium, right?
Yeah.
Like most every year. That just looks like a really cool experience. Like any prospect game, you're definitely in the minor midget one too, right?
Yeah, I played in the minor midget one as well for the GTHL. That was really
and they sell out the Buckingham rink one too, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of like the first time you actually get to like play in front of like a bunch of people, like a couple thousand. So there, it's kind of like you get a taste of the OHL in a sense because you're playing in front of crowds that are paying to watch you play. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I keep thinking of these questions. I have one. Okay. This is gonna be one of my last ones. Or maybe the last one. Did NCAA ever cross your mind in like the earlier years?
Growing up, obviously it was always a dream of mine to play in the OHL because I'd always go to Oshawa Generals games and stuff like that with my dad and my grandparents. Mm-hmm. So that was always kind of something I wanted to do. But obviously, it's always nice to explore options. So NCAA was kind of something in the back of my mind during minor midget, but for sure I always thought I'd prefer to play in the OHL.
Yeah, I mean it's also like kind of it's like a longer journey to get to like Division I hockey. Like you got to go to you'd probably have to go to the USHL first. Yeah, and then this year would have been your first year, right?
yeah, you definitely got to wait a bit longer to start playing with older guys and stuff like that. There's different paths, and everyone kind of takes their own. So as long as you get to the end goal, shouldn't really matter, I guess you can say.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's got their own hockey journey and wherever it takes you, right?
Oh, for sure.
So
Right.
that's
Anyone
all
have
I've got.
any last questions? No.
All
Oh,
you, bud.
I'm
All
good.
right. Before we wrap this up, I just wanted to ask if you had any like story or crazy story that sticks out in your mind throughout your career that you
Oh,
wanted to
wait.
share.
I think
Okay.
we had a question about your Instagram name. Did that come from
Oh
any?
Oh
yes,
yeah,
yeah.
oh yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
forgot
All
about
right,
that.
all right. I remember once maybe Stefan asked you in the hyperfit dressing room, but
Yeah,
so what's Billy the Kid?
that was kind
Everyone go
of
follow him.
that was yeah,
Go home, Billy Kid.
but yeah, that was kind of a nickname given to me. So, um, by a coach I used to skate with. So I went to Everest Academy in Vaughan, kind of
Yeah.
like a sports school. So one of the coaches that worked there, his name was Jim Thompson, and he played with Gretzky on the LA Canes and stuff like that. He played in the NHL for a few teams. He kind of gave it to me from like an old movie back in the day. It was like a Wild West movie, and one of the characters were named that. So he kind of just gave it to me, and it kind of stuck. And then one day in like Bantam, some of the guys were, "Oh, that'd be really cool. Like change your Instagram to that and stuff like that." So it kind of stuck since. So I've never.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
sick that it was available. That it was even.
Yeah.
It
I
seems like
wanted,
that kind of thing.
no, I have two underscores in front of it, but I kind of wanted to get just Billy the Kid, but I didn't really have a. I just kind of put the two underscores. So
Yeah. If we get some more followers, that's definitely a possibility. You know how Max Domi's just Max or something?
yeah,
Like he DM'd the guy who had Max and he just gave it to him.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
So
you got people Subban with Subanator and stuff like
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get to the show.
Yeah.
To the underscores.
I know.
All right. Well, before we end, did you have any crazy story that you wanted to share that sticks out in your mind?
Oh,
How about like a favorite goal or something like that?
Yeah, like a memorable moment.
yeah. My first goal in the OHL, that's definitely something I'll never forget. It was in Sudbury actually. I scored my first and second goal in my career, and it was actually nice though because it was with Akil. He's the one that kind of passed me the puck, and I kind of put in the net. So it was nice, kind of having that moment with him, being friends and whatnot, and teammates as well, and
Yeah.
living together. So that was really awesome. And I kind of walked off the sidewall and I pulled it back a bit and I put it short side upstairs. And other than that, I didn't really remember much. I kind of just got a huge like rush through my body, and I was like, "Holy!"
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens. Like when you score like a good goal or like I feel like whenever I score like even one goal, there's like any goal, it's like
Yeah.
you forget what happens between the time the puck goes in the net and like you get back to the bench and you're like, okay.
In a bit, you're like, "I just scored." It's definitely a great feeling. But yeah, that first one to get under my belt was definitely really memorable, and I'll never forget that.
Yeah. You do black out and then you watch it on film and you're like, I don't remember doing that. I don't remember like
Well, for
selling
sure,
like that or whatever.
no matter what, you always get that feeling.
What's the signature celly if you score a nice goal? You have one?
Usually when I score, I kind of go on one knee, the bow and arrow a bit, stuff like that. It
That's
depends.
great.
Yeah, or I just kind of twirl my stick a bit and throw it in, stuff like
That's a
that.
sick one. Yeah. That was what Pacioretty
Yeah, no,
a
that
couple of
was
years
mine.
ago did that. I think
Yeah.
Pacioretty did it first a while ago
Oh, okay.
in like a playoff overtime.
Or
I
you just
remember
kind of
seeing that.
the glass too.
Oh yeah.
That must be sick.
Yeah, when there's
energetic.
fans jumping into the glass,
Yeah,
you always
yeah.
see the Minnesota high school
Yeah,
videos. They jump into the glass. It's crazy. The student section is just going nuts.
Awesome. It's a really good experience and a
For
lot
sure.
atmosphere to be in.
For sure.
Sure.
That's awesome.
All right. I guess we can wrap it up there and end it there. Or do you guys have any? Felly, I know you might have like a last minute question.
No, thanks for coming, man.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for coming on the podcast.
Yeah, for sure, Bill. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
No
All right.
problem.
This has been the interview for Buds in the Box, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for listening.
We'll have Bill back one day. Okay?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. All right, guys. That was the Billy Constantinou interview. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was really fun for us to make, and I think Billy had fun too. So now in the second part of the podcast, we're just going to be finishing up the playoff predictions that we started in episode 1. So you're going to hear us just talk about who we think is going to win the Stanley Cup, and I believe we did round 1 in the first podcast. So now we're going to be doing round 2, 3, and 4. All right, let's get into it. We got to finish the second round, the third round, and the fourth round for our Stanley Cup predictions that we started last episode.
For
yeah,
sure.
that's when you guys agree with me.
Yep, I agree with you, Eric.
All right,
okay, sure, we'll be doing that. Okay.
Great idea, man. Great idea.
I'll get the matchups out. All right. So we're starting off with a bang. Boston and Toronto rematch in the second round. Deli, your
Jude,
thoughts?
my thoughts. I'm giving it to Boston.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like the Leafs will have a hard time beating them even in the first round, but in the second round when they're worn down too, like it can't be. I think the Leafs just aren't strong enough yet mentally to make it past the second round in general, no matter who it's against. So
yeah, I go to agree with Felly here. I think Boston takes this one.
Yeah,
Eric?
I mean, I have to agree with all of you. Boston seems like the top team this year. So, I mean, anything can happen. And
in the standings, yeah.
Yeah. But they're also like one of the best playoff teams. So,
yeah,
it's almost impossible to beat them. And, I mean, we're going to cheer for Toronto and hope for the best, but it wouldn't be looking too good.
Yeah.
All right. So, second matchup, who do we have? We had Pittsburgh and Washington. Classic second round battle.
It's a really good series. That was the 2014 Winter Classic.
Pens versus Caps.
Yeah.
2014 Winter Classic?
I think it was 2013.
2013 Winter Classic. That was great. We're actually going to get into that in a bit too, Winter Classic. But
oh, yeah.
but yeah. I don't
know.
You
might have been right. I think it was 2014, actually.
I think I have to give it to I think I have to give it to Washington in my eyes.
Washington?
I don't know. I feel like it'd be a great series.
Yeah, it's always a great series between
for sure
the grade 8 and the kid.
Yeah. But it pretty much comes down to goalies there. Pittsburgh's kind of struggling, trying to find the starter. They both have two excelling backups pretty much, and then they've got to see what they do from there.
I think that would actually be really interesting to see who shines the most, Jari or Samsonov.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. I like Jari. Like,
for sure.
I think he's a really good goalie, but I still have to give it to Washington. Like, just overall, like, they're really good, you know. And they've got Carlson, like, one of the best in the NHL right now.
Yeah. And they got like Wilson, right? Like they got grit to their team too.
Yeah, and Ovi's not out of it yet, so
yeah, for sure.
And they've got a really good squad, so I feel like Washington takes that series.
But the Pens did make some trades before the deadline that
they did,
sure.
A better team.
Zucker. But
they got some other guy, I forget his name. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to vote Pittsburgh here. I think Pittsburgh comes out on top.
Okay.
But I mean, if you guys say Washington, then we'll go with Washington.
I guess it's just like the majority rules here.
Yeah. Oh,
We're gonna
that's
give
why
it
we
to,
have 3 guys on the podcast
yeah, we're gonna give it to
for the
Washington for
deciding
now.
vote.
Unless
All right.
unless anyone wants to change their mind. Jude.
Pittsburgh or
Pittsburgh.
Washington.
No, Washington.
Yeah, okay. Okay, we'll give it to
All
Washington
right.
then.
All right. So this one, what was it? St. Louis and Colorado? Yeah, St. Louis and Colorado. That's what we picked yesterday.
I know St. Louis is defeating champs, 2-peat, but I give it to Colorado. I feel like they have an underrated powerhouse. Like, people don't understand how strong that team really is. When you look at their depth chart and you look at their top guys, it's crazy. I think they win that series.
Yeah, I gotta go with St. Louis on this one. No bias with Bennington, but definitely I don't know. I feel like there's something to Colorado in the playoffs. I don't know if it's shakiness or it's something. They've had almost like the same team. They had like Makar last year and everything, and they still can get to where you want to be. So I don't know. I gotta go with St. Louis on this one.
Well,
Fair enough,
since
yeah.
I'm the deciding vote here.
Yeah.
I know this is gonna make you a little mad, Jude, but I have to go with the Avalanche.
I'm not mad, man. I'm not.
This guy leaves the podcast.
It's I don't know. I think when you base a goalie is a huge part of it, obviously,
Mhm.
and
sure.
Binnington's obviously better than Grubauer,
For sure.
but I feel like Colorado just has more pieces to the puzzle
Yeah.
right now.
But like
I mean,
last
Makar
year,
is twice as better as he was last year.
who did Colorado get knocked out to last year? I know they beat Calgary, right? Did they not?
I
They
think it
beat
was
Calgary,
I think it was St. Louis actually.
Might have been a second round St. Louis.
I think it was St. Louis.
So same series.
Yeah, it just comes down to the wire, right? Like whoever has more grit, who's less
Yeah.
tired.
Yeah, I mean,
there's so
it's
many
hard
factors.
to say. It's hard to say. These are
Exactly.
just predictions, right? So
Yeah, for sure. You
Yeah.
never
Well,
know who could be injured, who couldn't be, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Injuries are huge. Like,
Yeah.
you never know. So
Yeah, the
Exactly.
reason I had to go with Colorado is like I think like they've just been pushed down like so much. Like they obviously like when they got McKinnon, they were last place in the team, and they've done like a classic rebuild, and they've just gotten better and better each
For
year.
sure, for
So
sure.
like
Yeah.
I'm looking at last year, the year before. If they're getting
yeah,
better, they're gonna get to that next round. They're hungry for that. That team
yeah.
just
For
wants to
sure.
win. So
I mean, this
Yeah.
is what I see. I see like McKinnon is the second best player in the NHL.
sure.
That's opinion. He's right next to McDavid there. And then
I agree.
you can compare McDavid's team and McKinnon's team. And McKinnon's got a really strong
Landeskog,
back end.
Rantanen.
A really strong back end. He's got Landeskog and Rantanen. And then McDavid's got Draisaitl, obviously. But it's just like, I don't know. I think that back end, helps Colorado.
For sure. That makes them
Huge
look like
thing.
more of a powerhouse than the
Yeah.
Oilers by a long shot.
well, I mean, we didn't mention this yesterday, but the Oilers did get 2 pretty big pieces
Who?
before the trade deadline. They got Athanasiou and Tyler Ennis.
Oh yeah.
I
Which
do
both play with
not
McDavid.
like Athanasiou at all.
Yeah, but
I'm
those are 2 like
sorry.
third liners and like fourth line.
I
Like
think
grinders.
Ennis was a fourth line Leaf, was he not?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. And now he's playing on the first line with the best player in the world.
No way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
but they both meet his needs. Like Athanasiou can get him the puck. He can also receive the puck and score goals. Ennis is probably one of the fastest guys in the NHL. He's so underrated for his speed, and he's like that grinder that can work hard and get McDavid
sure.
the puck. So
Yeah.
I mean, you never know.
They complement McDavid for sure. I just
Alright,
think they're
so
not.
better than Cassian.
Yeah. Okay.
just
Okay.
think,
So
like-
I'd say you go, Philly.
I just think like the name is just like Landeskog and
Yeah,
Rantanen, or like
there's no doubt,
Ennis and
Yeah, and Athanasiu.
Athanasiu, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I
I
mean,
think
we're
we
not
gotta go
really
with Colorado.
yeah, we're not really
Yeah.
comparing Colorado and Edmonton, but like
Yeah,
if
yeah.
we were, just because I think McKinnon and
Mhm.
McDavid are on similar levels.
For sure.
Um,
They're very even
They're
players.
they're
yeah,
both teams that
I feel like
the
that
team
top
around
three.
their
yeah.
Those
franchise
top
player.
three players.
I feel like they're really like similar teams in
Yeah.
that sense. They like built from like McKinnon. They built from
Yeah.
McDavid. Like, I don't know.
I mean, Avalanche did a better job, but
Yeah, I think so
Yeah.
too.
yeah.
So
So
we're giving
I
that
guess
series
yeah to the Avalanche. Avalanche got
Avalanche.
that one.
Okay.
And now I think this one was Vegas.
Vegas.
Vegas and Calgary. So
Cool.
what do you guys think about that one?
I don't know. I gotta go with Vegas. They got the goalie depth. They got the I don't know. I feel like they're just
I think that is
way more skilled team.
I think that is huge. Like having basically two starters,
Yeah.
right? You can play them on any night. You
Yeah.
can play either one any night. So
Yeah.
it's like that's a huge thing, but I think I have to go with
You think Calgary?
Calgary.
No
over-
way.
I give Calgary the just because they're so. I compare them to Boston. They've got like some skill. I guess they don't have like a Pasternak though. They don't have like a really like good like goal scorer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe if Johnny Gaudreau was more consistent.
If Johnny Gaudreau was more
Yeah.
consistent, yeah. But I think they've got like that edge. They have an edge, and like the edge
Yeah.
gives them like the upper hand in a lot of situations. Like, I don't know. I feel like when they get under a team's skin, it's hard for the other team to win.
For
Yeah.
Like
sure.
when you get Matthew Tkachuk going after their top player, when you get Matthew Tkachuk going after McDavid, for example, McDavid
Yeah.
doesn't produce.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I don't know. I
Yeah.
give it to Calgary, but obviously Eric.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't know. I feel like they don't really have any like superstars. They just have like an all
You're
around
right,
good team.
yeah.
Like
But then
Carlson,
again,
Marchessault.
how about St. Louis last year? Who
Yeah,
was their
exactly.
superstar, right? Like
Yeah.
they were kind of like that gritty, like chippy kind of made
No,
their
I
way
mean,
through the playoffs.
Vegas. They don't have any. Like they just have like a good all around team, and then they got Reeves too. So Reeves could deal
Yeah,
with
that's
Kachuk with an
true.
open ice
Yeah,
hit.
that's true. I feel like Reeves and Kachuk would be a great fight.
Yeah,
I
Oh,
want
that
to
would be
see
an
that.
amazing
I'd
fight.
I
love
want
to
to see that.
But I don't think it would happen because Reeves is Kachuk is not a heavyweight.
But he
Yeah.
already fought Cassian, didn't he?
Yeah, but those guys are like the same weight.
Cassian's bigger than him.
Yeah, well, yeah,
He is.
by a little bit.
Eric, what's your choice?
Right here, I mean, I'm gonna have to go with
Kyle.
Kyle.
I'm gonna have to go with Vegas. Honestly, I
Yeah.
think just based off the goalie situation, it's just even if like there's no possible way that goalie situation can go wrong. If one guy gets injured, another plays. If one guy's not playing well, the other plays, and they're both of the best like regular season goalies.
Kyle with
Why
that
you?
PlayStation, man. Because you have it on max volume. But yeah, I totally agree, Eric. That's where I think they'd have that edge on Calgary.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll give that to Vegas.
Yeah. And then that's all the second round matchups. So we'll go to the third round.
Round
So we
3?
have Boston and Pittsburgh. Who do we choose? Pittsburgh or Washington?
Washington.
We had Washington.
All right, Boston and Washington.
I gotta go with Boston right off the bat. I'm sorry.
As much as I hate to say it,
Yeah.
Boston.
Boston's
Yeah,
got just so much more determination, I find, than Washington. But yeah, go Eric.
As much as I want Washington to win, I think they'll
Yeah.
give them a good run for their money, but
They will.
100%.
it's gonna be Boston in the end.
I would say so too. Yeah. I
The
think
East
The
is
goal
so
scorers
strong.
matchup.
I think Boston is just on that level right now. I feel like it's one of their last years too, that
Mhm.
they're gonna be like the top of the league because Marchand's getting old.
Yeah,
Bergeron's
and
getting
and
old.
obviously Chara,
Chara's
if he's
done
not
for
already
next
old.
year. I mean, like that team that they had or they have this year is not going to be the same next year or in the
Yeah,
years to come at all.
Yeah,
So
I know.
yeah,
Kyle's a Boston fan. I keep telling him once they lose Bergeron and Pasternak. I mean, sorry, Bergeron and Marchand. Pasternak's gonna be left out
yeah,
to dry.
Pastrnak's
yeah.
going
They're
to be.
French
It's not gonna be the
Canadians.
same.
I think if they want to be like, I think if they want to be better in the next couple of years too, they're going to have to get Pastrnak another piece. Like he's going to need a nice centerman, like a really good centerman for his
Maybe
line, or
Seguin.
else
Oh
it
wait,
depends, right? Like it depends on because I think a lot of his production comes from his line
definitely
mates, and like
for sure.
there's guys that do it kind of solo, like McDavid, for example. He's pretty solo, like he
For
does
sure,
it
for sure.
by himself most of the time. But a guy like Pastrnak really depends on his line mates.
Yeah, but think
So
of that. Think of that
There's no
Team Canada
Pasternak
line.
without those two.
no,
Yeah, but think of that Team Canada line with Bergeron and Marchand. Holy,
Yeah.
yeah,
and
and
then
you could say the
Crosby,
same
who
thing. Yeah, and you could say the same thing about like Matthews. His almost 50 goals this year. I would want to look at that stat where how many of them were assisted by Marner.
for sure.
Same with Tavares last year. He had 47 goals. I want to see how many were assisted by Marner because I feel like Tavares doesn't get 50 goals without Marner and Matthews doesn't get 50 goals without Marner.
Yeah, but Matthews did it before when he wasn't on a line with Marner, when he was with Johnson
Well,
and
he had like
Kapanen.
40, but he's on a different level this year.
Yeah, I agree.
He's on like a I agree, obviously. Matthews is like he's a goal scorer. He's obviously amazing. But I think it helps to
Yeah.
have a guy like Marner who can just find you no matter what, right? So
Was it Marner that did that backhand pass
it
from
was
Yeah.
one side of the ice?
Matthews.
It was
It was
Matthews?
Matthews. He did
And
the
Marner
spin around
potted it?
pass
Oh
to
yeah,
Marner.
yeah,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Marner, yeah,
That
yeah,
was against Carolina in that
yeah, because Marner
daytime
Oh,
took
game
one
yeah.
too, yeah.
in the next gen game.
Next
Yeah.
gen.
All right, so we're going with Boston on that one. And we
Yeah.
somehow got into a Toronto talk.
Unfortunately. Yeah, and we get into Toronto talk.
All right. So Western Conference Finals, round 3. We have Colorado against Vegas. Who's taking that one?
Colorado.
Colorado.
I see
You think
Colorado.
Colorado?
I said it before. They're power. I think I give them the cup, to be honest. Colorado, they're just really good.
Thanks for spoiling it, Philly. Okay.
I mean,
Thanks.
and
We could have waited to get there.
And I explained it before though, like they're just such a powerhouse. And in
Yeah.
Vegas, I don't know. I didn't even pick Vegas last round. I don't see them.
Okay, I'm gonna go like in depth, Will.
The pieces to the puzzle in Vegas are just like, yeah, they're good, but are they really gonna beat a team that's been rebuilding for 5 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, but what's their fourth line looking like? Like
Who?
Colorado.
Colorado?
Yeah.
I'll
Like I honestly I'm trying to
The
think of
depth
who it is.
chart.
Yeah, exactly. Because Vegas, they're like fourth liners from old teams that just are shining now. So like they're like their whole team is just like kind of like gritty guys that just work hard. So that's pretty scary too. Like hard work always beats out talent.
You talking about Vegas?
Yeah, I'd say I don't know. They got like
I feel like
they
I
have a pretty good
agree.
decor too. Theodore and like Miller and Schmidt.
Steroid boy. I feel like I agree with that. Hard work will beat talent any given day.
Yeah,
It's just I feel like Colorado has guys that work
for sure.
or has
For sure.
really
But
skilled guys
I feel like this would be a
that
great
work really hard too.
series.
That would be interesting for sure. But I remember I was listening to Brian Burke talking to I guess it was Spin Chicklets, and they asked Brian Burke who was best interview was his draft interview, and he said one of them was Landeskog, and he said Landeskog is just like a really hardworking guy, like, and then you look at
for
Landeskog,
sure.
he's so skilled and hardworking. It's just like I feel like
sure.
McKinnon's the same way, like a good East Coast guy, like he's a hardworking guy, you know.
Yeah.
The thing I find really crazy is that we all know McKinnon's a leader. His mentor was Sidney Crosby, and the fact that Landeskog got the captaincy over McKinnon just shows
Exactly.
how much
how much
good
leadership is on that team.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Like it's just like, that's why I think it's such a, they've got the leadership, they've got the skill, they've got the hard work, they've got the goaltending there too. That's why I think they're such a powerhouse. I'm gonna stop saying powerhouse now.
All right. So what's the verdict?
I'm going with Vegas.
Belly?
You know me, Colorado.
All right. I guess I have the deciding vote. This one's a tough one.
I want the deciding vote next time.
Because Vegas has the goalies and Colorado has the team.
Yeah,
Colorado has the edge team wise. Like I think,
but
they have
also
a better team.
like Theodore on the back end. Like I don't know. I mean, Riley Smith. Like they fully have those skilled guys
for sure.
But
they have that experience too. They've been there before.
I just experience. Yeah, they've also been in the league for 2 years.
Yeah.
3 years.
But that's that team. Like everyone else has.
They made it to the
still have more
finals.
experience.
I understand. They made, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they've been to further.
I don't know. Like you said, it's kind of team versus goaltending when you look at it, Eric, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like if I'm trying to persuade you, which I'm not, this is your decision, but I'm just saying, you can look at goaltending and say, yeah, they've got 2 starters back there, basically. Vegas, 2 starters. But then you can look at Grubauer along with Colorado's back end. It just it's like he's not going to be taking as many shots. He's not going to be taking as much force as Leonard and Fleury are going to be taking.
Yeah, I think I can agree with you there, and I'm going to have to go with Colorado, based off the fact that I think that the goalie, the goalie situation. I don't know how to word this, but I'm gonna try. Colorado's goalie situation isn't that bad compared. I think the goalie situation is less.
It's better than we think it is.
Yeah, it's better than we think it is, and they have 2 good goalies still, Colorado, and I think their team just has that slight edge over Vegas. That I hope I explained that well, and I hope you guys understand. But
yeah, well, right now they're starters friends, so I don't know if Grubauer is injured, but that's their starter. That's who's played like most of the games leading up to this.
Yeah,
and it all depends on the playoffs too.
For sure.
Yeah, who knows who's going to be injured? Who knows who's going to be playing?
Well, Francois is like if we're looking at Francois, I don't know. He could definitely steal a series. That's just what I think. Yeah. I think he's better than Grubauer for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be that would be a really good series to watch.
For sure,
it would be.
100%.
All right, so now we're going to go into the last round. Boston against Colorado.
Finals, baby.
Who wins that matchup?
Jude, you want to go first?
Yeah,
I'm going last this time. I want to hear
I'll go second.
It's actually tough. Well, we already know Philly's deciding factor, unless that changed.
Damn it! I shouldn't have given it away. I mean, there are two really good teams. Both
there.
like, I don't know. Will Colorado? I'm gonna not change my mind, but I'm gonna talk about it a bit.
Yeah, like
Will
do they have
Colorado
skill
be
and
tired
grit?
out? Will they be tired out from the
Exactly.
Vegas series? I feel like Boston gets past Washington kind of easily.
Really?
Not
For
easy,
sure.
not easily, but I feel like 6 games, and I
Yeah,
feel like
yeah.
it's not going to be
For
as.
sure, gonna be a game 7 with.
But I think
Vegas.
Colorado is going to have a really hard time. It's going to be game 7. I
For
think.
sure.
So will they be more tired than Boston? Will they be more worn down? Then again, Boston's game is also really chippy. They get worn down pretty fast too,
For
because
sure.
every game of the playoffs for Boston is a chippy game. It's playoff hockey, but Boston takes it to another level.
For sure.
I'm gonna stick with Colorado. Just
Nice
because I think
deciding factor.
I think they're a what?
I said nice deciding
Nice,
factor.
nice deciding factor.
All right, so Felly, you're with Colorado. Who are you with, Jude?
No.
No,
You go,
you're not
Eric.
with Colorado.
You
Oh,
go,
okay,
Eric.
yeah. Okay.
Oh, I'm the deciding factor now.
You're the decider.
Okay. Well, in that case, if Jude's the deciding factor, I'm gonna go with. Wait, you went with Colorado, right?
Who?
He went with Colorado in round 2.
I went with Colorado. Yes.
No, in the
As a sta-
finals.
as a sta-
Boston
no,
or
I mean
Colorado?
the joke was he said Stanley Cup champions were Colorado.
I give it to
Oh, I'm
Colorado. I'm not
stupid.
changing my
I'm
mind. I'm not
stupid.
changing. I was just talking about what Jude was saying.
Okay. For the reason that I want you to be the deciding factor, I'm gonna go with Boston just because I feel like they're a stronger team. And as much as I would hate for them to win another Stanley Cup, I'm gonna have to go with them as the better team in this situation.
Yeah, I feel like
Man.
they can. I feel like they can be. This could be like their last season, as I said, and it would be like a bang for them to go out on.
Mm-hmm. It's like the last dance.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, MJ.
All right, Jude. Not to put you on the spot here, but you're the deciding factor.
Okay, I got to do some research for Colorado's depth.
Oh yeah,
Then,
I got it.
Yeah,
I
did
got
you
it
look
pulled
at
up.
their?
I have their fourth line. Their fourth line looks something like Mark Barberio, Pierre Edouard Belmar, and Logan O'Connor. It's something similar to that.
Okay, and
what
then
about their third line?
the defenseman too.
Third line is looking like JT Comfer, Matthew Nieto, and Martin Cote.
Okay, and then the defense.
Defense is looking Cale Makar, Ryan Graves, Samuel Girard, Eric
Johnson,
Ian Cole, and then some other random guy.
That's so like that. I feel like that's so strong.
Yeah.
Their defense
core is definitely awesome.
Yeah, but you're going up against Krug and Chara and McAvoy and
Chara's not what he used to be.
Yeah.
But
Krug's really good.
You got the speedy Krug with that big guy. It's scary. Probably looking
Krug's
down.
really good. Yeah.
I definitely think that defense would look a lot scarier if they kept Dougie Hamilton.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Imagine 6'6" Hamilton
That's the
and
thing.
6'9" Chara.
What is what's Boston's like third pairing?
Boston? Hold
Their
on,
D
give me a
pairing,
second.
right?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up.
The thing is, they have scary forward depth. Like we had, like the Leafs practically lost to their fourth line last year. Like that, or second and third. Like I know, DeBrusque was sniping on us. Coyle was sniping, but that's also you never know about weak goals in that time.
Well, Coyle's not really Like he's kind of a depth guy.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't call him a top 2
Yeah, no,
guy.
he's a good
Two
third line
line.
center for them for sure.
Yeah.
So wait, what were you guys wondering? The fourth line for Boston?
No,
And
and their
defense
third
core.
pairing.
And defense
Alright.
depth.
Their fourth line, it's not that bad, but it's Nordstrom, Parland, Holm, and Wagner. So
And then the defense pairing.
it's a little shaky. And then the defense is what, do you want to know their back four?
Yeah.
Matt Grzelcyk, Jeremy Lozon, John Moore, and Connor Clifton. So a little shaky.
I think both are really even.
Yeah, you think Colorado's D and Boston's D are even?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Gerard is like,
He's good.
what's his? He's good, but like, he's
a good
like Barry,
defensive.
right?
He's a good defensive guy.
No, he's a. Here, let me
What's his
pull up
plus minus?
Okay, I'll get that for you in a sec. So his plus minus for this year,
Yeah, sure.
17. Or sorry,
That's
1.
good.
Sorry, my bad. 7
Oh.
1.
So he's in the plus, right?
Yeah, he's 1 plus.
Um,
And he had 34 points in 70 games. Like that's decent for a second pairing defenseman.
Second pairing guy.
Especially if like he's playing with guys like Kadri, Nemestikov, like that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
That team had a lot of points this year.
Yeah, wasn't like McKinnon, Landeskog, and Rantanen weren't they in the top?
man, why did I have to be this
10 scoring?
Well,
top 10 scoring.
I think like McKinnon like crushed it in points this year compared to everyone else. They had a lot of injuries this year. Keep that in mind. Like Rantanen, Landeskog, I think even Makar missed like a big chunk of the season due to injuries.
Yeah, he only played like 50 games or 40 something.
Yeah.
games.
Yeah, so I mean McKinnon getting injured, he's one of those guys, but like McKinnon had like 40 points more than
What
Makar,
about Brandon
who's in
Carlo?
second.
Is he? Where's Brandon Carlo?
Oh, I think
he's gone. He's
on. I think he's on Boston now,
Yeah.
or maybe Minnesota.
That's a 6'5", pretty scary defenseman.
Brandon Carlo. I'll pull him up. I think he might have got traded, or oh no, he still plays for Boston.
I mean, man, I don't know.
Now we're going really into depth, player by player.
Yeah. I don't know.
Time for a decision.
Yeah.
All right, come on, Jude, you can do this. It's just a
All
simple
right.
decision.
I'm going with the bad guys. I'm going to Boston.
Wow. So
Why'd
Boston,
you say wow? You wanted them too.
Eric, what
no,
would you have
I did it
said
for
if you
argumentative
weren't
sake.
the deciding factor?
I would have said Colorado. I mean, I don't know. I think Colorado's in the next 3 years. Colorado has to win one Stanley Cup, or else you're wasting Nathan McKinnon.
People say that about Connor McDavid too. But,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I want it to be this year, but it's definitely going to be one of the next 3-4 years for sure.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to start to be ready soon. But anyways, to wrap that part up, Boston Bruins are your Stanley Cup champion. Kyle is grinning with glee. Thank you guys for listening to episode 2 of the Buds in the Box podcast. I'm Eric Fogarty, and this has been your co-hosts Jude Rondina and Michael Feldbloom. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.